I can hear people talk, but not Ronald, says chat.
Blah. I'm sure it's going to turn off my camera now. Yep, it is.
Your camera is, in fact, off.
Okay.
Amazing.
Blah, blah, blah.
Check and hear you.
I know.
We did it.
Although it says you're
scrambled. Oh, here we go.
Because OBS decided to change its audio input without telling me. Okay? Just as Discord told me to change its audio input without telling me. So when I changed Discord's input from default to Yeti, that somehow told another program to change itself from Yeti to default. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay, but if people are not complaining, I think we're good. I got a request to yell more, including from one of my 13-year-olds. He said he liked it when I yelled last time. So I'm thinking about the children. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Last week we made characters. I was pleasantly surprised. Last time I was saying this, and those who could read lips could understand me, but I'm going to say it again for your benefit. But I was pleasantly surprised by 4E. We are all Pathfinder 2E players, and also a lot of folks here I knew for many years running Pathfinder 1E. And we're going to have our first play session. But yes, before you forget, everybody subscribe to the side channel. It's in the video description, where we will continue the campaign. And also everyone's character sheets PDFs are there that I made using Hero Lab. I should also thank the 4E Discord community for helping with a lot of resources. I am using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. Also, I am running Beyond the Crystal Cave, which is a D&D Encounters adventure. It was part of their organized play program that started a few years into 4E's cycle. And as we'll see from the adventure, it's not trying to be the most elaborate roleplay, immersive story. It's like, let's get to the fight. And I think that's perfect for our exercise. Also, we will be speeding through the levels more quickly. It's going to be about twice as fast as usual. Yay! The adventure background is this. For a year, unnatural winds and mists have battered the area around the town of Crystalbrook. Worse, bizarre blue-skinned fey creatures have emerged from the fog to pillage and murder. Townsfolk blame these misfortunes on the fey of the nearby Sildane forest. The fey, who also suffer, claim innocence, faulting Crystalbrook's people for hidden black magic. Our adventure begins in the Great Hall of the city that is near both Crystalbrook and the forest. This is called Cybar.
You didn't actually put my character's name on the screen because you forgot the umlaut.
The umlaut, whatever, Nate. You can come here and help me type things into OBS if you have the technical knowledge.
Yeah, so my character is named Nuance. Words are supposed to be nature-like. So I'll say he's from Crystalbrook.
Mm-hmm.
This is a small agricultural community on the plains near the Syldian Forest. So it says associated skills, endurance, nature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already trained in both of them.
This will give you a +2 bonus if you to one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's all right. Bonus to better than Pathfinder 2. Things can actually stack. Yeah.
I'll
here, man.
Come on.
Nate provides our entertainment, our edition warring biased statements.
Okay, my character's name is pronounced Nuance.
Okay, so you're not pronouncing it with the umlaut then.
Oh, how would you? I just kind of added that for flavor. I don't actually know how. I don't know. I don't speak German.
All right, clearly. So don't use German things on letters if you don't. Nuance.
How would you pronounce it? That's nuance.
Not
nuance.
Ooh, it's okay.
Nuance, like that. Nuance.
A tactician more than a fighter.
Next is will be determined.
Yeah, that's me. As you probably have guessed, I'm not very good at coming up with names.
Actually, Raul, your middle name. No, that's you have like a hyphenated last name, right? So.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Are you trying to make me lose viewers, Nate? Okay, Raul.
I am an elf that grew up in the Sylvain, which is the forest in this general area.
Yep, my character's name is Alonso Panza.
I'm Zach Stewart Glumph. He is an Eladrin wizard. I'm a crystal brooker.
Oh, so you almost embody the peace that could be achieved.
No, apparently I'm a high elf actually, so never mind. I'm just.
Well,
an elf
they also
dude.
have face step ability, so I think it's like, I'm a little confused because why did they split elves up in 4E? I'm not sure. I guess because there's no sub races yet, not yet, because that's going to be brought with 5E and Pathfinder First Edition. I ask you to officially represent me in the matter of the problems between the town of Crystalbrook and the Fae of the Sylvain Forest. Use your talents to keep the peace and find the missing youths, Juliana and Orlando. The lady of Crystalbrook, her name is Lady Tamora. Her son went missing recently, about 2 weeks ago. Apparently on the same day, an elf maiden named Juliana vanished, who was the daughter of the Lord of the Sylvain Elves. The two parents are suspecting that the two youths are lovers. I offer each of you 50 pieces of gold on behalf of Lady Tamora and Lord Carrick. I'll double the amount upon your return. Also, take this document, which marks you as agents of Cybar in these matters. You must stop the sides from fighting and return both youths alive to their parents. Each faction is likely to blame the other if you fail, leading to the possibility of open hostilities. I recommend you begin by questioning the lady and the lord. I want to tell viewers too that we limited ourselves to the Player's Handbook and Player's Handbook 2, and I know that there's a true look at 4E it means looking at having access to the full variety of choices. We're going to be limited to those options for level 1 only. If we get to level 2, I think I'm going to give everybody a free respec, and we're going to talk in the Discord. People join the Discord if you want to interact with us between sessions about.
We will be very receptive to any help you can offer us because we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah. Some of you may be like, oh, that player really should try this class when you're watching. The structure of D&D encounters is it was 2 hours every time you met every week, and there was an encounter every session every week. And you were normally able to short rest after that and get an extended rest when you leveled up after 4 sessions. Whoa. It's a warm part of the year, but the wind is starting to grow cold, and there's chilly mist billowing around you, dampening your spirits and clothes. Crystalbrook's walls come into view eventually, promising relief from the weather. But something is amiss. Screams emerge from the town gates, which stand open in the mist. Do you have any marching order?
I would like to be first in the first rank.
Megan. All right.
Megan Cam.
Yeah, Megan Cam. Yeah, now she's making biscuits on my leg. This is why I wear long pajamas, you guys. Through gaps in the fog, you see small creatures that have dark blue skin and large orange eyes. From the bodies scattered around the plaza, it looks like the town guards held their own, but the tide turned against them. As the bell starts to ring deeper inside the town, one of the creatures drags a net-bound citizen toward the opening in the wall. Then the little monsters spot you. Some of them have a big blood drop on them. That means they're already bloodied, you guys. Everyone can roll initiative.
Well,
doesn't the marshal give everyone a bonus? And is that in your characters yet?
It does give everybody a +2 bonus.
Can everyone else just manually increase their initiative by 2? Because that condition will almost always be met, right? All right, Alonso. So in 4E, you get to do a standard move and minor action. You get to substitute a lesser thing for a higher thing. And Alonso is our bard. Oh, I should also roll a d4 for some reason. Hold on.
Whoa, oh.
For some reason, that's not ominous.
The mist is collected right here, causing everything within it to be concealed. So -2 to attack anything in that area.
I am glad that there are no flat checks involved here. Those are annoying.
Spot checks do get obnoxious.
Actually, let me think real quick, because opportunity attacks are a thing I have to actually think about. So
still a pretty
Alonso
big guy.
shall approach this creature
Uh-huh.
and attempt a guiding strike against it.
Aha, what is this? Oh, put it to chat so people can see. Your weapon
And then,
stroke guides your allies, showing them where to focus their attacks.
Alright, you said concealment currently applies here?
Yes. So
Alrighty, I will check the concealment box that the roller for this edition happily gives us on this module for Foundry.
So
will
what?
roll
to
it out
clarify,
here.
what penalty does concealment actually get? Is it just a flat -2?
yes. 21 will hit and cause this
Good as
thing to
that.
shriek. I'll ask everyone, the first time they do a power, what does this look like?
My sword glows as it strikes the thing and illuminates it slightly, making it easier to see.
This is also a precursor to Guiding Bolt in 5e. Ding, ding, ding.
So it has a -2 to the defense of my choice. I'm just gonna pick armor.
I'm going to use this condition to say its defense is down.
I'm going to try to use my Thunder Ram Assault to whack this guy into the fountain.
So this other bit of text that says you also get a secondary attack that says
It's a
when it
close
says is a
blast.
close blast 3. Is that meaning like you get that little bit of extra damage in an area?
Yes, in a 3 square diameter area that is
Cool.
adjacent to him. What's that spell in 5e?
Thunderwave.
Thunderwave,
All right.
combined with a hit.
I'm
Well,
wondering
then
what
it should be
Okay,
from
what does
the
blast
enemy
mean?
that you hit.
Blast means it's a area adjacent to you. The distance you push them is up to you. It can even be 0. Target it, and then click attack, and it's going to use your strength bonus and add your weapon proficiency and compare it to its AC.
Yeah, it says that secondary attack is strength against fortitude.
Yeah. That does not
Okay, well, it misses
succeed.
anyway.
It misses. And the secondary attack is part of the hit,
It
so it doesn't happen.
doesn't happen.
Yep. It's part of what happens with a hit.
Huh. Oh wow, that this entire thing I have to hit in order for anything to work.
Yep.
Huh.
I think the secondary attack happens anyways.
No, it's under hit. It's under the hit paragraph.
Oh. Yeah.
If something
no, you're right.
happens regardless
It is.
of
Yeah.
whether you hit, it would be under effect.
I will use Cloud of Daggers on this fellow over here. Oh.
Okay. Does not succeed. Your daggers whirl around it, but it is dodging. It was an area attack, so concealment did not affect it. And any creature that enters this zone or starts its turn there takes force damage equal to your wisdom modifier. So you're not done with this spell. It lasts
Yeah.
until the end of your next turn or until you end it as a minor action. Is there anything? All right, Snooty Darter. Ooh, I get to play now. All right, I think this is why some DMs like 4E, because the monsters are not just, I run up. The one that Alonso had hit, when that happened, it would have teleported right there. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
Uh-oh.
They seem to be, well, that's very Fey-like of them, isn't it? This thing takes a gleaming dart and is going to try to target Alonso.
Oh, where's his reflex? Holy crap! An
Okay.
8.
It misses. A 12. Wait, that hits you because you don't have
My
very good
reflex is
reflexes.
awful.
Yeah. 7 damage. I'll apply the damage.
Dart. Ouch.
And you're also dazed. It means you grant combat advantage to creatures. You can only do 1 action on your turn. You don't do anything outside your turn. And save
Brutal.
ends. So when you would make a save, such as at the end of your turn, you have a chance to shake this off. This one down here, take aim at Nuance. It's going to do a dart volley. It's going to shoot 2 darts at you.
And then reflex again. That's
Reflex.
if I had known that reflex would actually be used.
Your shield helps with reflex, though, by the way. 15, 4 damage. All right, this slasher with a short sword in hand is aiming at Alonso. That is a hit, 8 damage. making
Getting
Alonso
trashed out here.
bloodied. He's bloodied. The sympathetic one slash at Nate. 6 slashing damage. Oh wait, it started its turn in this area. The Cloud of Daggers. What's your wisdom modifier, Zach?
It takes 2 damage.
2 damage, and then shift back. Another one. It's going to throw a dagger at Nate.
Oh, versus AC. I like versus AC. But +6.
All right, and miss Nate.
There we go.
All right, I have all my people at once.
These guys have high attack bonuses.
Yes, they do. We're using Monster Manual 3 stats. All right, it throws a net. Burst 1 within 5. It's going to do that on the Wizard and the Bard. +5 versus Reflex.
Kind of like making saving throws, because that kind of feels like you're more involved, you know?
I like
Even
the
if it's-
idea of
even if it's the
saves
same.
just because it's faster. Or the idea of targeted DCs for anything somebody does, just because it's resolution. Whoever's turn it is, it's a person doing things.
All right, we're going to add 2 as it applies to Alonso. And it misses both of you. However, it also is going to throw a bolus as a minor action against Nate. Okay, that's a miss. This guy who had teleported, shift backward, and also try to do the same attack with a net.
So shift is equivalent to
5 foot
Dash.
step.
Yep.
in if I
Ooh.
I think it's equivalent to stepping, not 5 foot step.
Okay, you're both restrained,
Yes.
which gives you -2 to attacks, grants combat advantage, and you cannot leave that square.
Jeez, conditions are brutal.
Yeah. And with a bolus, it's going to try to throw a bolus at Nate.
What actions does this guy have?
All right.
Jesus
Falls
Christ.
prone. You cannot stand up until the end of the netcaster's next turn.
With no ability to negate this at all.
Well, yep, you just got tripped, and it's just tangled up your legs.
I can delay like Pathfinder 2.
Yes.
Okay, I will delay until after our rogue because I want to give our rogue an extra attack. Because I want to do the cool synergy that Rogue Warlord has.
Hey, wait.
Okay.
Worf, in addition, stand your ground. And in addition, when an attack would knock you prone, you can immediately make a saving throw to avoid falling prone.
Yes. Yep, because
would
he's
like
its
to do
dwarf.
that.
He gets a saving throw against it.
All right. What is the saving throw? What do I have to roll?
Flat check, it's like, just roll a d20 and you need a 10 or higher.
Oh, okay. Oh, God.
Oh, look at this, is Mr. I'm so glad there's no flat checks. Ooh.
Oh man, nice flat.
God damn it.
Having
All
fun
right.
over there.
You
Oh,
know,
my God.
How does diagonal movement work?
You just count squares, just like 5e.
Lovely. If I were to move to this square that I just pinged, that would provoke an attack of opportunity, right?
Yep.
And in terms of getting combat advantage from flanking, do you have to be on opposite sides of the
Yep.
square?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 6.
ooh, nice.
Now I'm adjacent to 2. My goal here is I want to try and kill this one on my turn, and then be able to attack this one when Michonne gives me an extra attack. So,
Yep.
to that end, it's time to use, since I'm only at very low hit points, I'm going to use my piercing strike.
This uses your dexterity bonus.
Yep. So they can make a dexterity attack against reflex. So,
Nice.
here is said attack.
For those who are heavily armored.
I don't like all these attacks against reflex saves.
I'm attacking with a dagger, by the way, my primary weapon.
Oh.
Oh, frick.
Oh man.
Ah,
I am going to run over to here, and then use my swift action to use Warlord's Inspiring Word onto the Bard. Me or one ally in the burst, I can point at them and have them spend a healing surge by giving them some guidance or advice.
Oh
And they
yeah.
also
What do you
reduce-
tell him?
I am going to say, back out from here. I got it now.
So I may use the healing surge now, right?
Yes.
Yep, now you can use a healing
You
surge
have a
plus 1.
automation for that, and then it's going to prompt you to add a d6. I mean, you can add a d6, and you can even add a die formula, I think.
So now I'm going to hit the thing between us with a Viper Strike. So I will roll it as I ping it into chat. So Viper Strike. It is an at-will thing where I study its weaknesses, and then I slash at it to cause it to make a tactical misplay, so that the next time it shifts, it provokes an attack of opportunity from our rogue. It'll provoke one from you when you were
Yes.
flanking it.
Yes, which will give me combat advantage, and thus.
So I will attack.
Nice design. I like that. I approve.
AC. Nope, its AC is 15. Unfortunately.
Well, it's a good thing that it's an effect and not an on-hit ability.
That is good.
Yes.
Rough round for the good guys here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a death blow. And you have defeated this, whatever they're called.
The way I read it in my head is Zyvort, so that is the official pronunciation.
I agree.
Well, Zivorts, I think, is closest to the XVARTS, which is also what they're called when I look it up. We were doing D&D encounters. We move on to the conversation. We'll have that next session with the people in the town. All right, we need honest reactions for YouTube purposes. What do you like? What do you not like? I will be last.
I really liked getting to use my Elven Accuracy to hit with my what's it called? With my daily power. That was very fun, seeing large numbers turn a enemy into a pile of steaming pulp. My less favorite part was the part where I got knocked unconscious. That was rather disappointing, as I sort of missed out on 2 rounds of combat. Due to some tactical misplays, I wasn't near enough to the tanks. I tried to go out on my own.
And am I right that if the Healing Surge abilities had been saved, they would have brought him back up?
I mean, yeah, but we also popped the Healing Surge abilities on him earlier, and they gave, like, full saturation. So, like...
Yeah, he was drawing fire. This was a encounter level 2. This is... there's easy encounters, which are lower level than the party, which I don't think really happen. Well, I guess they do if you're level 1, if you just put fewer monsters in. Equal to the party and 1 level above is considered standard, and 2 to 4 levels above is a hard encounter.
My takeaway is that I really didn't think that range weapons would be that important, because every single ability in the Warlord says, oh, if you're in melee, and I had dumped Dex for that reason, and I could feel that definitely bite me as soon as the immobilization effect started coming out. So I think immobilization is just something that makes it that I can't play the game, and I'm just going to need to figure out ways to counterplay that.
I've only looked at the first 2 things in this adventure, but they're very different from each other, the combat encounters, and I think that's one of the appeals of it, is that it's even more explicit than in Pathfinder 2E, where each monster you face is kind of like a puzzle. It presents a different... forces you to change your tactics to it.
I liked it when I was able to make decisions and try to get into flanking. I definitely built a bit more glassy than I would have built it if I was building it again right now.
We'll get that respec at level 2. Derek says high strength characters should get hand axe or throw hammer for heavy thrown. It uses strength on attack and damage. Drawing an item is a minor action.
Oh, that's very important. Because in Pat, I'm used to drawing an item being a move action, or unless you have the feat quick draw. So yeah, that's important information to have.
Yep, I would echo the. Well, I think it was more just the encounter design for this encounter than a specific failing of our characters. But it certainly was frustrating to be like, oh, all my powers are melee. Other than that, my thoughts are I kind of like the general feel of stuff. I'd like to digest before I can give a real big thing. Certainly had more fun in this encounter than most encounters in 5e.
First of all, community's criticisms were that it wasn't realistic enough in terms of roleplay and it was too much like a video game. Those criticisms, I don't get at all. If anything, it's a lot more roleplay intensive in terms of character mechanics. I can't really explain why, but there's a lot less like I don't know, forced roleplay in the 3.5 and Pathfinder. And it is not like a video game at all. Like, the other versions are much more like video games, unless you're talking about like Mario in terms of what being like a video game, because the main mechanics of this system is board manipulation and movement, whereas in Pathfinder and I'm guessing in most other D&D editions, it's about conditions and damage. So there's that, and because of that board manipulation aspect, 4E seems pretty much designed to be like an anti-rocket tag game. It's much more heavily focused on the meta combat, and they weren't actually doing a lot of damage. It was like 4 damage, 9 damage, and we had a ton of hit points. So only one of us got unconscious, even though they hit us like 12 times. And it is a lot slower because of that, which I guess is a little bit of a criticism, like it's taking too long, all that stuff. Looking at it, it was kind of frustrating, not being able to do stuff. But I think it might be an acquired taste. In 4E, it's more the long game. Like, okay, you're in a bad position now. Gear yourself back up. Do some supportive action so that when you're in a better position next turn, then you can do something good. So it's a slower paced game.
I like that my cantrip-esque abilities seem a bit more powerful than I'm used to, but I guess 2E also kind of has that, so I'm just kind of referencing back to like first edition. But yeah, I like that I can cast spells that do things a lot. I like encounter abilities because it kind of takes away from like, when my encounter like failed and didn't do anything, I was like, well, at least I can still use it next session, next fight, versus I'm gonna have to take a long rest to do this again.
Well, for me, I felt it could just be because we're getting used to things, but okay, I felt that the fight was too long, and it could be because they were written to fight to the death. Part of it's the encounter design. It clearly was a showcase fight for, you show up to the game store and you're playing there. You're there for 2 hours, and they want to give you a big, big, thing, And I was just like, oh, wow, this is like a level 1 encounter, and this is when the game is supposed to be simpler. But I think it's because of the format. I just thought I was a little shocked by the amount of complexity involved. I think, level 1 Pathfinder 2 is simpler. But on the other hand, what Nate said kind of helped me think a little bit. It's positioning is more important, movement's more important. The idea is they wanted to make an interesting tactical game, and that's where the mechanics come from. And you can see that's also why it came under attack, because they felt to have the mechanics be over-determined by the game and the tactical elements. Those who wanted it to be kind of like some kind of midway thing between battle, interesting tactics, and roleplay were not pleased. I think partly too it felt more complicated because I was running it too, obviously, and there were 3 stat blocks. I'm going to show them to you, and they each had like 5 different abilities and 2 different triggered abilities. And that's so there's a little mental overload going on too. That's all. But I think as we get the hang of it, I think we have yet to get a real feel of the system to be able to give a overall judgment of it. But there's also a lot of callbacks, like you have to remember something's in effect. There's a lot more of that going on, making a VTT really important. But it's what makes classes like the Warlord, and the debuffs, those situational debuffs, that's like kind of the meat and potatoes of those classes at the same time. So it's not necessarily a net bad thing, but it is something that, I don't know, I feel like this is not a newcomer friendly edition. I don't think there would have had the same numerical growth in the hobby if this was level 1 play,
Yeah, I can really see that, actually. I can. That makes so much sense to me now why 5e was how it was, knowing that they are really trying to expand.
5e and like the roleplay style. I mean, I hopefully I don't piss people off when I say this, but the whole style of putting roleplay almost before the combat, like thinking about what you're doing in roleplay as you're in a combat, that's kind of a whole different style of play from what I'm used to and what I expect people to do. What I've always done is think about the combat strategy, and then after I do the combat, think about what that means in terms of the role play. So it's more like a heat of battle kind of thing, and then kind of from that build the character. So basically instead of a backstory based character, it's a moment based character. If that makes any sense.
I think I get what you're saying, Nate. I think it's sort of important that with this game and with Pathfinder 2, there are enough like different character options that feel thematic, that by taking certain abilities that work in combat, you can create a certain type of just roleplay just based on what you're able to do.
Yeah, because from my time playing 5e, a lot of what happened was like I would say, oh, I want to do this roleplay wise, and then the GM would say, well, you can do this standard thing, and I'll say it's this kind of roleplay. It's like, okay, that's not satisfying. Like I want to actually have a function mechanically.
Yeah, I like how the mechanics prompt flavorful, memorable moments.
Yeah.
Here, it's more than I hit. You know, I mean, you had like Brendan there, like leading a charge in this whole big area, and it feels like you're I remember reading this, like it felt like you were not at level 1. It felt like you're at level 3 or 5. What level would you say this felt like you were?
My final comment and thought is on the length of the combat, because I think that had to do with how it lined up with our specific characters, because there were a lot of things very far from us, and raise your hand if your character is melee. That's the problem.
That's true. And it meant more of being hit while they had ranged attacks. Yeah, and you know, you see the save or kind of suck in action. You're only immobilized 1 or 2 rounds. I mean, it could have, if this were, that was a toning down of debuffs from the previous.
I have a little bit of Pathfinder 1 debuffs. I do not miss the Pathfinder 1 debuffs.
For people who are watching, Sean has a bad first experience with Pathfinder First Edition.
Yeah, because you all played casters. None of you.
Not Sean. Sean was a brute guy, but then I color sprayed him in like round 1. I'm gonna have my video. I've already started to write a list of things that Pathfinder needs to take from 4E. But what I think 4E, which is now no longer a supported edition, needs to take from Pathfinder is the 4 degrees of success and crit on when you exceed by 10. Yay!
Oh yeah.
I missed those.
That would help a lot. It's like the basic hit is like it's a really harsh binary.
Yeah, and because the way they balanced save or suck was you saw what happens, but it would be nice if failing didn't suck so much. You had 4 degrees of success. Yeah. Cool. I think that's it. But in the meantime, stream everyone in chat, subscribe to the side channel. Our next session, which will either be next week or the following week on a Monday or Wednesday. So I will turn off the stream and talk to these folks about scheduling. Okay, say goodbye.
Bye, chat.